Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Digital Transformation Live series. I'm Soofastaei, an AI program leader in Vale. Vale is the biggest producer of iron ore and nickel in the world. Our live interviews have been designed to develop the knowledge of applied data science and advanced analytics in different industries, aimed to touch Industry 4.0. These live sessions are held every Friday with the presence of one of the university professors, industrial managers, and experts in the field of industrial engineering, and also focusing on Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. After recording and editing, all these interviews will be published on our YouTube channel. Today, we will discuss data and analytics for the mining sector from consulting perspective. And this is my honor to introduce Leandro Antunes, a senior digital and analytics manager at E&Y. Leo graduated in computer science with MBA in business analytics. He is the senior manager of a consulting company where he has worked for more than 9 years in analytics practices. During this period, he worked in several sectors such as customer products, telecommunication, pharmacy, healthcare, iron, mining, etc. And since last year, he has been responsible for more than 70 people in a data and analytics project in the mining sector. Welcome, Leo, and thanks for accepting my invitation to be with us today.
Hi, Ali. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for this amazing opportunity. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon for whenever you are hear us. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I'm very, very happy to be here, to be able to share some of my experience, some of my knowledge, and I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation, very interesting meeting here between me and you. Thank you very much again.
Thanks, Leo. Thank you for being with us today. As a first question, Leo, I would like to know what story led you to your current role and what's your background actually?
So as you said in the beginning, in the introduction, I'm from São Paulo, Brazil. I studied computer science back in 2013, so almost 9 years. After my university, I started to work at EY. Back that time, it was Ernst Young, actually. And then I made my MBA in business analytics and big data. And since I started work at EY, I've been in the analytics or digital practice, if you prefer, because back that time we didn't really work with analytics, but all project we have digital orbiting our project. And as you said, nowadays my role is a senior manager. So I'm leading projects at mining sector, also healthcare sector, consumer product sector. But in the last year, I've been focusing only in the mining sector. So this is a little bit of my background.
Oh, perfect. That's great. You work in the wide range of the digitalization, and that's great because this is the main reason that we talk together about the Industry 4.0. But since you mentioned in the maybe the last year or a long time, maybe you work in the mining sector. My question is that how is artificial intelligence transforming mining in mining 4.0?
Perfect. So, Ali, I think first of all, we need to be clear here that artificial intelligence is transforming the world, right? Regardless of the sector, but our life is every day change. If you are here because artificial intelligence or digital or technology help us to be here. But for sure, in the mining sector, we might see this with more energy. Let's say like this. When you talk about artificial intelligence, there's something that is really important. Sometimes we only think about the solution, right? The product, like the deep learning, the artificial intelligence model, the machine learning. But AI, for sure, has other competencies in the orbit. For example, people, process, change management, governance, data literacy, future data-driven or value-driven, if you prefer. And of course, you have the infrastructure, you have the technology itself. So when you think about digital transformation, and transformation is like when a company understands the importance of these competencies. We're not only talking about the AI product itself. We're talking about all these competencies, as I said, change management, people, process, and so on. So I think one important thing about the mining sector, at the companies, they start to invest in this competence. And you cannot only invest in infrastructure or people or change management. You have to invest, let's say, in a harmonic way, in the harmonic transformation, where you can see all these competencies evolving. I think that's why we have been seeing year after year improvements when you talk about efficiency, when you talk about safety in this company. In short terms, I think AI transforms the technology, the mindset, and the culture. When we start to see the companies involve all these competencies, we can really say that AI is transform our company, our sector, and our daily life. And I think that's what mining companies is doing nowadays.
Oh, perfect. I can see you're talking about the culture when we're speaking about the application of AI in mining. And I think you believe that AI is not exactly related to the technology. AI is a culture, and we need to focus on different dimensions. For example, the people need to digest this new technology, the process should be changed, the management system should be changed. And it's a great idea, because sometimes when we're speaking about AI, people think about, okay, AI is just about robots or about the prediction models or optimization model. But based on your idea, I think we have a better view of what is AI and what's the AI application exactly in industry. And you mentioned in mining, we are in the beginning point of this long journey, and we have a lot of things to do in the future. That's great, and I think mining should more invest in this area. But a question that I have for you: how will digitalization make mining operations more efficient? Because efficiency is the key point for us here when we want to invest in this field.
Perfect. I totally agree with you, Ali. But let's start with something that's really important. In all books that you read, that you write, you probably already find this. When you talk about AI, machine learning, digitalization, technology, it's not here to replace the human experience, right? Or our background. I think when we have technology alone, it's not enough, because you don't have like the background, you don't have the business knowledge, and if you have the human experience alone, also is not enough, because I cannot perform something by myself as the same as a data analytics model. So I think the truth here is when you use the technology together, combine it or as a complement from our background, from our professional experience. And when you have both of them walk through the same purpose, here we start to talk about efficiency, because you can have the best model in the world, you can have the best resource in the world with thousands of years of experience, but only when you can combine these two, you can really have, or you can really talk about efficiency. So I think this point is really a valid argument for my last answer. I've said about competence that orbit the digital transformation. That's why change management in culture are essential here in the digitalization journey. People needed to share and believe the same purpose. So you can invest in technology, but if you are not investing in this change management culture, people are just not using our top of the world technology. They have to believe, they have to see why that's important. And when we talk about efficiency and digitalization in the specifically for the mining sector, I think that's exactly what it's about. So people knowledge, who often like work 15, 20, 30 years in the same company, align with technology, identifying together points of improvement. Maybe it's a point of improvement that they didn't know until now, or maybe they knew about that point of improvement, but they didn't know how to act on the top of them, or we have a chance to validate or refuse hypotheses that was really hard without technology. So again, when you combine our background experience with technology, we have efficiency. And in the end, I think it's important to point it out the natural impact that we have in the efficiency when we start to use, of course, modern technology. So every day we have something new, where we start to use resources that are more sustainable, economical, autonomous, safe, and optimized. I think all this together being what I believe that making the mining sector more efficient.
Oh, excellent. It means that, the digital transformation in mining, it should be the multi-dimensional subject for the companies, and they need to invest in different areas. It's not just the technology. It's not just about the software or communication or something like that. It's about the multi-dimensional problems, and they need to think about how they can solve this spider problem. Okay, so you talk about mining industry, and I believe that AI is a main part of digital transformation when we are speaking about mining 4.0 or industry 4.0. My question for you is that what is the mining industry's most significant areas of growth for AI?
So let's establish something here in the beginning of this question. So when we talk about mining industry, we have dozens of areas, right? From the back office to the operation. So as we grow the number of areas, for sure we grow the number of opportunities, right? But today, that's a personal opinion. I think in the mining sector, safety is one of the most critical topics, right? And as we have this natural evolution of technology, when you talk about autonomous cars, that now is a reality for us, computer vision, that are also a reality, remote operation. So this kind of technology allow us to act directly on these safety pain points, let's call like this. And I know safety is not like a specific area, as you said in the question, but we have to agree that safety is cross over many areas, right? So when you think about this team where you can see the real potential of AI being applied and the impact and the benefit that this type of technology can bring to the operations. So I know the question was really areas, but I think that when talk about safety is something that you can see cross over all these areas. And there is another area that I particularly think that can have a great impact by using artificial intelligence. It's like energy consumption, right? Because energy awareness is a very actual topic. A lot of companies think that's really nice, right? That a lot of companies are really worried about the energy awareness and how this can impact the results, right? And I think today there is really a kind of expectation from the society about the attitude and about how companies are dealing with this concept of energy awareness. And when you think this in a mining company, in the mining sector, we have huge opportunities to be more efficient, to be like carbon neutral and so on. So when you think about the mining sector, on everything like in a massive scale, and even a small initiative can have like a big impact. For example, I saw a really nice project that was trying to optimize the transport routes to help decrease the fuel consumption. This AI working, right? But it's think about in one of the aspects, energy awareness. So this kind of initiative has a positive impact on energy awareness, cost reduction, safety. So I think AI is one of the key pieces when we talk about energy, ESG, and other topics that are around this subject. Of course, we have many other areas like legal, tax, equipment, maintenance, and so on. But I think these two are some key areas to look at when we talk about the mining sector.
Beautiful, beautiful. It means that AI potentially a robust, very strong tool for us to think about the multi-dimensional solution for the problems that we have in mining industry. For example, previously we just focused on operation or we are focused on productivity, but now AI potentially can give us this opportunity to think about maximizing the productivity and also reducing the fuel consumption, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, improve safety, everything at the same time. And another things I think AI can help us to think about integrated optimization models through the value chain. Instead of just focusing one specific area, we can make relationship between different operations, and we can create a link to have the an integrated and comprehensive optimization models to think about different areas at the same time. But definitely we are facing some limitation, for example, data, and because data is a starting point for us for to develop the AI models. And in many areas in mining now we are facing with the lack of the data or lack of the accurate data or something like that. So we need to think about how we can solve this issue. But that's amazing. I think future mining has been coupled by AI application, and that's great. So, okay, so let's talk about your organization, because I know E&Y is pioneer in this field. And my question is that what steps are being taken at your organization to be a leader in this transformation? I'm speaking about digital transformation.
Awesome, Ali. Thank you. So I think you have to see this in a multidimensional way also, right? So I think there is one important, and it doesn't mean that's the most important, but let's start with this one. That's where we bring our multidisciplinary teams when we are talking about a project or we talk with a client. So again, as I said a couple of minutes ago, we have to bring together technology and business. So every time we are in a different meeting, or we are making a decision or establishing a point of view, we try to make sure that we have our business specialists with us. So we're not talking about only technology. So if the client has a business problem related to energy, related to mining, to customer centricity, let's bring our specialists to help them understand what the market is doing, what other companies are doing, how can we do this better. This is one thing, multidisciplinary thing. About sectors, we start to develop what let's call these hubs. So we have like a mining hub. In this hub, you can find extremely competent team, people with a very strong mining background in this example. So some of them also 5, 10, 15, 20 years working in the sector or providing service to the sector. So we have our specialists in these mining groups. So they are every day talking about the same sector. They follow the growth of the sector, the trends, the risks, what's going on, what the company are saying about this. So I think we are bringing the right experience, and they have the proper to talk about mining or talking about healthy or talk about energy. So I think these hubs connecting each sector is a very important initiative. And there's another one. There's particularly I really like that UI start to establish a lot of partnerships. So if you want to have a specific knowledge or expand our knowledge in one specific area, or maybe our client, they need a specific profile or a specialist in a specific topic, we have several partners, and then we can bring them together. They share the same purpose, they share the same culture, and then we are totally comfortable bringing them together to be part of a project. So I think the partnerships are also very important. And one last thing, I think the investment in technology. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about technology, we talk about teams, we talk about people, equipment, training, certification, culture. So I think about a little bit what I said in the beginning about when we talk about digital transformation, we have several competencies. And I think this not apply for our clients, apply for us also. So I think UI made a lot of investment to guarantee that we follow the same purpose and follow the same culture. And I think today our technology team, our digital team, they have a crossroad in all other areas in the company. Because we know that technology is really critical for the project, regardless if we are focused in technology or not. So when you put together a multidisciplinary team, sector hubs, investment in technology, and partnership, I think is the combination that are making us leader this transformation.
That's great. I can see you already touched Industry 4.0 in your organization because you have all elements that we need to be a pioneer in this field. And that's great that you are working in the field of, for example, the consultancy for mining. And it's the ray of hope for a future that the partners same as you or your organization can push mining industry to touch Industry 4.0 very soon. Perfect. So let's go back to the technology and innovation, because I believe that these words are linked together. What are some of the new technologies or innovations that you are particularly excited about?
That's a great question, and I'm sure that it happens to you too, Ali. From time to time, you receive an article or a slide deck or you see a post on LinkedIn or so on, a recent project somewhere in the world, uh, telling about a brand new technology, and we start to be very excited about this. So even nowadays that we have access to a lot of information, every day I receive something that says, that's really cool. And I think this natural part of digitalization and the evolution, right? We receive this daily information and we start to get a little bit of everything. And everything we have something new, right? Back in the past, we every month, now maybe every week we have something different, and soon every day. But there is one report that I particularly really like. This is the Gartner, it's the from Gartner. They call this hypercycle. In this report, it's like a one-page chart where you can see, let's say, the momentum of different technologies in a specific time frame. So let's say machine learning. When you see this in 2022, where is machine learning? Is it like an innovation dimension or kind of a plateau of usage? So we have different technology, and in this chart we can see how this technology is being used by people, by the company. It's in the beginning just innovation, or is already a common used by the company. So every time I see this innovation technology, specific in this report, I get very excited and inspired, and I always think, okay, being in a consulting company, what could I do with this technology, right? But just let's talk about something that's more in our daily work, or something that we see more common. I've been following more closely one technology that, I don't know, it's really a technology, but a concept that's using satellite image for monitoring, right? So, for example, we can see the ships approaching ports, we can see ore dust movement, we can see trucks waiting to be loaded. I know you might be thinking, okay, but that's not really necessarily a new technology, right? But we have to agree that now it's infinite time is more accessible. I remember when we start to talk about, for example, Google Earth, and we were always wondering, okay, how they be able to take so many pictures? And now we can do this, right? So I think it's infinite time is more accessible. It's cheaper, right? With like some outstanding performance, we can use almost near real time data to look somewhere. And then, of course, you can use other technology, for example, computer vision. So I've been very excited about what we can do with this, let's say, space tech approach, right? Because I think it's disruptive, and the possibles are huge.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. You're innovative people. That's great. So let's talk about the mining industry. As you know, mining industry is an old industry with a huge inertia. And if you want to change something, especially when you're speaking about a culture, changing the culture to have Industry 4.0 in mining, you need to encourage the mining company. My question is that what benefits have you seen in mining companies encouraging them to invest in, for example, advanced analytics or AI?
So, so as I said earlier, when we think about the mining sector, everything it's in a huge or large scale, right? The challenges are greater, but also the opportunities for the development and improvement are also greater. Um, in my opinion, when you think about the mining sector, when you think about each stage that we have, like in the chain, the product chain, the production chain, you have different improvements, different opportunities to improve. And here we talk about safety again, we are talking about efficiency, right? And I think AI is a really important ally to act in this dimension. Um, I don't think that when you compare to other sectors, I usually say that the mining, we can say that's more traditional. So we might have the perception that this journey, right, is longer, is more complex, because this kind of image that we have that the mining sector is more traditional. But whenever you are in this process, in this digitalization process, you start to see that the distance from other players are huge. So if I have two mining companies, one is starting this journey, this digitalization process, the other one is just in his traditional culture. You can see that this difference is huge. And I don't think you really see this in other sectors. So, for example, if you get the health sector, even a company that is in a digital journey and another company that are just in his traditional culture, you don't really see that this gap is really huge. That's something that you see in the mining sector. So, in summary, just answering your question, Ali, I think that the fact that the mining is more a traditional, less digital nowadays, and the opportunities for improvement in efficiency and safety along this chain are huge. So every small initiative can have a huge impact.
Awesome. Awesome. So as you know, we are living and working in the the weak AI era. I'm speaking about weak AI because the application of AI right now has been just limited to make the prediction models or optimization models in some maybe make intelligent decision, but not exact decision. The AI algorithm can just generate some advices for us to improve our performance. But definitely in the close future, we will have general AI and maybe later a strong AI, the very intelligent system that can make a decision on behalf of human. So what are you most excited about the future of AI applications in mining?
I love this question, Ali, and I'm tell you why. Because I know that we are here in a very nice meeting, in a very nice conversation, talk about AI, but time to time I start to talk about culture, people, change management, because I think that's important. Uh, we can have a very disruptive AI technology, but we still need the people to believe and to use it, and and they need to make decisions or use the decision that are suggested by for the technology to move with his business, right? So again, I think something that makes me very excited when you talk about AI is not something really technology, not for the solution, but there's something that I can see all the companies, the digital companies, they are talking about this, that's democratization. You know, AI isn't always think about this disruptive technology. And I think democratization, it's a really good example that like, let's say a culture movement or a new company's mindset. And we are not really talking about disruption here, right? Um, I have seen some companies that in the mining sector, actually, they are really worried about this culture movement. What that means that, okay, we can have a lot of AI, we can have a lot of technology, but we still need people for that, right? But let's imagine in a world or a time where all people across our organization can do it. And we don't need to focus this really disruptive technology in one, two, or a group of 5 or 10 people. So we start to allow all users across the company to be able to contribute to development or insights. They can use their own data. They can have access to it in a very practical way, right? So I think this movement is exciting because we of course we can think about 5, 10, 20 people in our company that they are very good about AI. But let's imagine a company who can a lot of people can be good at this. So they can have access to the data, they can be trained, they can be certified. So I think this is a movement that's very exciting. I truly believe that the future of AI, that's a movement that can be an example for companies with similar complexity, size, and maturity, regardless of the sector. So for me, democratization is something that is in the top of the meetings when we talk about the C-level, the CDO, the CIO, because I think the company really, a lot of the company are agreeing that whenever you give access to the data and you train the team, the people to use this, make decision and use the AI, now we are talking about the future of artificial intelligence.
Perfect, perfect. My last question is related to the challenges, but I believe that during the previous question that I had for you, you talk about challenges as well. But uh, if maybe you can summarize everything that you mentioned before as to answer this question. But my last question for you today is, what are the challenges facing mining companies in using AI and advanced analytics practically?
Okay, so the challenges are diverse, right? I think we have here the whole night or the whole day to talk about challenge. But I think the first one that comes to my mind, and I think we talked this a couple of times in our meeting. I think it's a challenge that the companies to go deep in this digital transformation journey, like to look and act beyond the solution. I saw a lot of companies with the mistake of let's buy something very disruptive, and then we don't have the people, or the people just don't believe in this disruptive solution. So I see companies really challenged when talking about digital culture, talking about democratization, training, and change management. So we need to make sure, I think, that the digital transformation, they really reach the people all over the company. I said this in my first or second topic. They need to reach the people in a harmonic approach. So in the mining sector, I think even greater the challenge, because uh, it is not enough when you talk about, for example, democratization, that your team in the office, they practice, they live this mindset of digital culture. But whenever you go to the operational team, the work there in the plant, they don't believe, and they don't see the importance, or they don't see the potential of being digital. So I think the challenge is to guarantee that the culture is unique through the organization. Um, and another challenge, even I spoke about the space tech being cheaper. We need to speak about the investment in digital infrastructure, right? Uh, And when you see the mining company, that everything is in a large scale. When you think about cameras for video analytics, server, fiber optics, drones, we know that it's a huge investment focusing on the mining sector. But of course, even being a very high investment, I think whenever you have a well-structured business case in your leadership commitment to make it happen, of course, this move forward. So for me, I think the biggest challenge is guarantee this harmonic way of digital journey. And of course, the investment, a well-structured business case, and the leadership commitment for the digital journey.
Perfect, Leandro. Thank you so much. I think it was one of the best interviews that I had. It's a very exciting subject that you mentioned during your talk, and that would be great. I really like to appreciate you for your time and being with us here. And I believe that this type of the discussion can help the junior people or some students or the people who are interested in studying in this area. I really like to thank you, and also thanks all participants that we had today in the live discussions, and the people who can watch this video later, the offline version on YouTube. And I appreciate Mr. Fuladgar, who is coordinating and managing this type of this session. Thanks, Leandro, and have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ali. It was a huge pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the discussion. Thank you for your space. Congratulations on the work that you are doing. That's really nice. And please, whenever I can contribute again, I will be more than happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.